Welcome to the Friday Everyday Podcast. This is where we share and explore how to design a thriving business and lifestyle so that we can live the lives we've always wanted right now.
It's where strategy meets energy work. It's where we'll unpack how to build a business that works for you and we'll make it tangible and actionable. I'm Jody Rumack, an online business coach, and my mission is to help you grow and scale your online business to create time freedom so that you can spend more time doing the things you love with the people you love.
And I'm Brian DeCastro. As a holistic health practitioner and Reiki master, my part in this mission is to provide self-care support and spiritual guidance to business owners who are shifting to align with their next level way of being.
So come and join us here where every day feels like Friday and the vibe is fun, inspiring, and real.
Just sit back, relax, and enjoy. This moment is yours and you've earned it.
This is the Friday Everyday Podcast. All right, you guys, welcome to the Friday Everyday Podcast. Today we are recording number 7, and it's December. As you guys can see, tree in the background. Well, maybe you can see if you're watching this on YouTube. Otherwise, there's a tree in the background. And, this month is kind of a funny one because I don't know about you, Bri, but I am feeling really excited about the stuff that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. And at the same time, I'm also really looking forward to 2 weeks of downtime.
Yes, for sure. It's funny. It's a funny month because it's kind of like half a month when you think of it from business. But there are things that can happen in the back end of this month that can move your business forward, but also is important for you so that when you're going into the new year, you're charged up and ready to go.
Yeah, 100%. So let's get right into it.
Yeah, like when we sat down to sort of generate the blueprint for today, we call it like holiday success, right? Holiday success. What needs to happen before you basically peace out in the end of 2025? So 4 items we came up with. I'll just high level overview of these. One is planning your downtime. Two
Huge.
is, yeah, it's a huge one. And we even like literally moved it to first because we tend to put it last. The second one is your client, member, and colleague check-in. Just checking in, circling up to people, closing loops, whatever.
Yeah.
The third is your holiday promotions. What do you have promoted right now? Like, I mean, we're already in December, so you're not in creation mode. It's what do you have going on right now? And what else are you going to be doing to promote your business in this month in the context of the holiday season? And then the fourth one is complete it or let it go. So basically clearing some of the space and creating room for whatever it is that you need to bring into the new year and just letting go of shit that's might be just like stagnant. So
Yeah.
yeah, circling back to the first one, planning your downtime from the scheduling side of things. I know you're pretty excited to share about this. So what comes up for you in this area?
Yeah, I love this one because most people either don't take any time off, even if they plan to, or they don't actually plan it off in the first place, or they say things like, I'm going to kind of work over the holidays, but not really, right? AKA, I'm touching my business every day, even though I'm supposed to be off. And here's the thing. It's that when you are really looking to get into a new space, you are looking to level up, you're looking to grow, you need to actually become someone different going into the new year. The most important thing that you can do for yourself is actually create space. And I started doing this, I don't remember if this is year 3 or 4, but I've been taking 2 weeks off during the holidays, which I have never, ever done before, corporate or in my own business or anything. And I just think that it's so important. And I know that I'm usually still like doing something, thinking about whatever it is that I'm trying to tackle next and all of that stuff, like, and actively working on it during that time, or that's what I used to do. And what I noticed in the last few years as I've been taking off these 14 or even 16 days is that I'm actually not coming into that real space until day 11, 12, right? And so when people say, yeah, I'm going to take off 4 days, I'm like, yeah, but no, it's just not where it needs to be, right? You really do need to do the full 2 weeks if you're going to get the most benefit out of it. And what happens is, and I know like you definitely have some thoughts on this too. What happens is when you get to those days 11, 12, 13, 14, like everything opens up. The creativity goes crazy. Things start coming to you all over the place, right? And that's the part where you really get re-energized for the new year.
Yeah, I found any of us who've gone to a an all-inclusive 1 week all-inclusive vacation, right? Like you're hustling, you're doing all the things you needed to close things up before you leave the country, get on a plane, whatever. And often you're not even like really on vacation until like the Wednesday or the
Yeah.
Thursday of
Yeah.
that week because it does take time to decompress. It's almost like the ideal is like a 10-day all-inclusive, or if people are fortunate enough to take the full 2 weeks when they go away on vacation, that's when you really come back ready to go, right? So there's also something to consider, with just being able to close up shop. And what I loved when I was in corporate was I loved when it was like the last day and I've already checked in with my boss and my team and all that stuff. And I'm just about to leave the office for the 2 weeks. And I put that holiday reply on my email. So now I don't even have to go on my phone during the break, even though I still kind of did from time to time, checking on my team, checking on my staff.
Yeah.
I literally loved just the fact that I could just check out, right? And I found that there is a time, like shortly after Boxing Day, where it really starts to activate some really cool, creative ideas and an optimistic, look on what's coming up.
Yeah.
You need enough time to let some things get behind you, and you realize, yeah, if I check out for 2 weeks, I'm still gonna get my bills paid. Everything's gonna be good. There's a word that the concerns we have with responsibilities and stuff associated dialing out, but because we're so used to it, spend most of our year in our businesses or working or whatever, right? So it's more powerful when you make an intentional decision,
Yeah.
be very strategic with your downtime.
Absolutely. And so I think right now, because this episode is literally going to go out as fast as we can possibly get it out, what we need to do right now is everyone needs to actually look at their calendar and commit to the days they're taking off.
Mm.
Now, of course, we are recommending the 2 weeks. If you, for whatever reason, feel like that's not possible for you, at least 4 or 5 days. And, let's get them in a row where you're committed to taking that time off and you are not checking your email. You are not posting on social unless you want to post like stories on your Instagram or something cool. But no, like sitting there writing content, no sitting there creating images, no sending emails, no quick catch up with a client that you didn't get to talk to because whatever for 20 minutes, like none of that stuff. Because every time you do that, you interrupt the actual downtime that you're having. And it means you have to almost go back. You know what I
Start
mean?
over. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like that doesn't work. So I want everyone who's listening right now to hear me when I say there is no work on those days that you are deciding to be off. Right.
Yeah.
And then you can start to plan like all the things that you're going to do. Maybe you want to. It could be as simple as like maybe you want to plan to go for a walk with a friend or a family member or your spouse who you feel like you haven't seen in months, even though you sleep beside them, right? Like plan that stuff. Take yourself to the spa, go get your nails done, go get a massage, like whatever, go have a drink with the boys, like do whatever you need to do and start getting those plans, sorted out. Like I know you and I actually are planning to not do that much on certain days of the holidays, and others were more open to it. But we know we have a few days we're doing nothing. We're chilling at home, probably watching Netflix, going for walks and being in nature and maybe going to the beach or maybe, going for a cup of coffee or, well, you'll be drinking coffee, I'll be drinking whatever else, or going for dinner or whatever, but it's just us. And then there are other days where there could be other people or other arrangements or whatever, but there are specific days where we're not doing anything with anybody.
Yeah, 100%. And I think one thing I remember when I was in the gym space and personal training and stuff was some clients didn't want to lose track of their workout programming and all that stuff during the break. So they push through and they were strict all the way through the holidays and stuff like that. And then you mix in the energetic sort of release of emotionally connecting with family members and a lot of condensed family time
Yeah.
in a small amount of days and stuff. People don't really realize how much that's actually drawing from them, even though it's fun. And often I hope it's fun, but it's fun, but it's also it's a lot, right? So you come into January, there's that January 1st, New Year's resolution type of energy, but quite often we're coming into January not 100% if we don't plan it right, and then we go full force, and that's when you get people getting, sick towards the end of January or February, and even having to take the time off anyway. So I used to tell my clients, take the time off now, chill out now, because your body's going to end up taking that time off for you later anyways, right? So just kind of respecting and honoring that it takes life force and presence to be able to connect with your family and do all the things, if that's what you do over the holidays, and allowing yourself to do the things that regenerate you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then as you were talking, something came up that we hadn't actually touched on when we were doing the prep for this is the health and fitness and lifestyle and the food stuff. And it's like, maybe you have some good suggestions. I know back in the day when I was personal training, we wanted our clients to enjoy the holidays. So maybe there's also a piece in there about downtime that reflects permission to enjoy the holidays. You can have some cookies if you want to, right? This is not going to be like the end of the world. And maybe factoring in some of those things, and maybe you can talk quickly about how people can get in some movement and some exercise and stuff while that's happening.
Yeah, what I used to do is I was never really on a very strict training program over this time of the year. I usually actually enjoyed dialing out, but that's when I was taking more of my walks and long walks, winter walks, trail walks, and stuff like that. More time outside. I was One of the things I did was I strategically planned to enjoy food is a big part of it for me. I strategically planned to enjoy the social events that were laid out for almost a month of December. So I tried to be as tight and clean as possible up to those events and just go into it with a game plan to enjoy it, but come away without regrets,
Yeah.
right? And just being a little bit strategic. Because at the end of the day, if you leave the party having not had that second or third piece of cake, do you ever regret it? No,
No.
right? You tasted the first, it was good. You walked away, it was good. Like you often regret having the extra pieces, right?
Yeah,
But you don't really regret coming away um sticking with your plan
absolutely.
and holding a level of standard or integrity with your habits and self-care, but at the same time having fun, right? So these are kind of like a lot of things that might be review for some people, but it's something to think about as we go into it and being intentional and being aware before we
Yeah,
go
these
in.
are really good reminders. So just to kind of wrap this little piece up, right? Plan downtime, making
Mhm.
sure that you guys are actually choosing the days where you're going to be off, that when you're off, you actually are. So there's no little bit of this here and a little bit of this there. Planning to spend some time with friends, family, partner, kids, whatever it is for you. And then the other thing is the fitness and health stuff. So making sure you're still getting in your basic stuff, even if you're not going to the gym 5 days a week, if that's what you normally do, get in your walks, right? Get in your meditations, get in a little bit of mobility stuff, like get in the little pieces, and then choose when and how you're going to indulge over the holidays if you want to.
Yeah.
I think that's so key, and just having those decisions made before you go is huge. And then the last part is actually about the vision, but I feel like maybe let's come back to this at the end when we're talking about next year and completing and letting go. Let's
Yeah,
start.
I was thinking the same thing too, and I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to getting to that piece as well. So the second one, client, member, colleague, your your network, checking in with those that are key for you in your space. This is a big one too. I find I get a little bit sentimental as the year ends and stuff like that. And occasionally I'll just think of somebody and I'll hit them up and say, "Hey man, happy holidays, whatever it is. Hope you had an amazing year. Looking forward to a big year and coming up, sending you well wishes, whatever, right? Like there's just moments like that. There's events. Sometimes there's networking events where there's a Christmas party. We have our own holiday event coming up next next week as well, our virtual party as well. So there's some things that and people that we want to connect with just before that time and before you check out.
Yeah, absolutely. So this one is just a way to make sure you're touching base with your people. You're having that final connection. You're wishing them a happy holiday. With your clients, you want to make sure they don't need anything else so that you can actually be off for your 2 weeks. So what do you need? What are you going to be working on? When I always check in with our clients, when are you taking your time off? Right? What are you working on or not working on over the holidays? Is there anything you need from us before you go and take some time off so that everything's in preparation for January to hit the ground running, right? We don't want to be scrambling. We don't want to be planning then. We don't want to be working on projects, which is the other thing that we should have talked about quickly. Like December is a really great time to one, be doing, your final promotions and stuff, holiday promotions, whether it's before Christmas, whether it's like a Boxing Day situation, whatever. But it's also a really good time to work on your projects. So if you're upgrading your website, if you're creating a new funnel, if you are working on a new workshop, whatever it is, let's get the project done before your time off in December so that in January, you can just go,
Yeah.
right? So all the things that you want to do when you're checking with your clients is making sure they have all the tools and the steps and everything that they need so that when January comes, they're ready to rock.
Yeah, one of the things I do or have done in the past as well with clients is I would just check in on them and say, you know, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that stuff, but also how was your year? What are three things you
Yeah.
learned this year? What are three things that you're grateful for in 2025 with your business or personal, right? I love to always like get a chance to kind of like share that with them. And sort of it's a chance to reflect and celebrate. Sometimes they might send me a testimonial on some highlights of what they've experienced in our journey
Yeah.
together. So it's always great to have that and sort of close the social and personal loop as the year comes to a close.
Love that. Okay, so the next one is the holiday promotions, which we talked about really quickly. But essentially, you guys are probably already in some type of holiday promo. You probably just finished Black Friday. Maybe you're doing some kind of 12 days of Christmas. Maybe yours is 5 days, or some kind of special leading up to the holidays. So that should be in full effect now. Like Brian said, we shouldn't be creating that stuff. It should be ready to go. And the other point where you could actually do a really great promotion is between Boxing Day and New Year's. So if you haven't created something for that, if you weren't planning on it, that's something that you could absolutely prepare for and create so that it just runs automatically while you are still off, right? So that can be a really great opportunity as well to get people into something before the new year actually kicks off. And then also starting to plan, obviously, for Q1. Like we need to go in, like I said, hitting the ground running in January. So what is happening in Q1? what are the events that you're hosting? What are the events that you're going to? What are you going to be promoting? What's the offer? What's the price point? Mapping out your project plan for that. So if you are creating a new workshop or a new funnel or new, assets, creating that project plan so that you know what needs to get done by when. Ideally, anything you need for January gets finished in December. And then January, you can start to work on February for March, etc. Right. But we do want to know, like, what is the big vision, which again, we're going to come back to at the end. But what's the vision? What is the revenue goal? What is the activity that I need to do in order to get there? Right. What events am I hosting or attending? All of that stuff. So we want to make sure that you have your Q1 plans going into the new year. Now, having said that, this holiday time off is also a really great time to create. So even if you're planning your Q1 now in the next couple of weeks, you want to allow the opportunity and the space for the things that are going to come up when you're in your downtime. So I would still go ahead and create your Q1 plans now. But when you have that downtime and the creativity starts to come, be ready to make some adjustments and change some things around.
Yeah, another thing too with regards to creativity and visibility is, um, you know, if if a lot of other people are off for those 2 weeks, there could be a possibility that they're on social media more, right? So they might even notice be scrolling more or whatever. And one thing I did was one year I kind of like I like ghosted social media for a while, and I was like, I want to get some momentum going back into the new year. I don't know what to do. So what I did was I basically put myself into a social media campaign, which was basically, I wasn't selling anything. I was literally just sharing every day for, it was either every day from the first to Christmas or every day in December towards the end of the year. I forget what it was. It was a while back, but one quote or one lesson that I learned from the year. And I
Yeah.
basically just posted it every year and I elaborated on it a little bit. And that just got me going. And you can actually, with these types of smaller projects, you can write a whole bunch out in advance and maybe automate them, right?
Get them scheduled.
But
Sure.
you're still relevant, you're still kind of there, you still exist in people's pages, and it's just fun, and it's just like a little exercise for you to be able to reflect or keep yourself in the mix without, keep your visibility going without actually having to overthink it too much and just
Yeah.
having a little bit of fun, playing around with whatever it is that you're up to. It just kind of puts you in an automatic flow of these micro level creations, right?
Yeah, I love that. And just this is all part of the planning now, right? Now for the end of the month so
Yeah.
that you want to be off those days fully. You can automate, you can still be posting, but it's automated and it's ready to go. If you want to be able to engage, maybe you can go and engage, right? Like maybe that's
Yeah.
not the world. But you can do all the content creation piece beforehand if you want to. Love that.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Last
right.
one. Complete it or let it go, baby.
Yes, yes. I love this one because a friend of mine that I met networking on in this global space. She's in the UK, I believe. Um, and she said this is the best time of the year to write down all the things you're working on and just crossing out the things that you're just choosing not whether to complete or not, that you're just choosing not to bring into the new year because
Hmm.
it's unchecked, it's incomplete energy, and you don't want to bring that into the new year. Sometimes we have great ideas that we dreamed up like at the beginning of the year that just for whatever reason don't feel relevant anymore. But
Yeah.
it's still in the back of our head going, I didn't complete that, right? So
Yeah.
just give yourself a chance, just cross it out, let it go, right? There's other things though that we know we still want to keep in our plan or in our project plan. Um, can you complete it by December, or what do you want to have completed by the end of the by before you check out? And And what does it look like? How does it bridge into the new year? Right. So basically it's it's like spring cleaning
Yeah.
in the winter time digitally, right? Just clearing it all out so that you can just create space for new and exciting, experiences and projects down the road.
Yeah, I love this. This is like the thing that's on your to-do list every single week that every single week gets pushed to week, right?
Yeah.
And nothing ever happens and you still think about it, but it's got that sort of heaviness to it of like, I know I'm supposed to be doing this, but every week I'm not doing it. So I'm pretty sure I've talked about this already on the podcast, and certainly inside of my emails and inside of the content and everything that everybody is seeing. But one of the things that I let go of back in, I think, 2022 was Instagram. And so even though we are back on it now, it literally took me 3 years of not doing it to decide I was ready to do it again. So that was something that I decided January 2022, or maybe it's 2021, one of the two. And I decided I wasn't going to do it because it was taking up a ton of bandwidth. It was taking up so much time and space for me. It wasn't helping me get my clients. And I just decided I didn't need to do it. And I actually had my best 3 years ever without it. And only recently have we decided to go back to it. And a lot of it is because we have other methods of creating content now, partly because we're creating this podcast and now we're able to share that on Instagram and stuff like that. And we're sharing that workload. And actually, it's mostly you, not me. So that's making it a lot easier for me to do anything else that has to go up there. So I really encourage you guys to think about the things that you think you have to do, quote unquote, have to do, that the gurus have told you is necessary for your business and all that stuff, whether it's being on a certain platform, whether it's being on multiple platforms, like it could be something entirely different. But I really encourage you guys to really think about what are the things I can actually let go of that I thought would help me build the business, but isn't. Right. And it's not like an isn't because you haven't spent enough time or because you haven't refined it enough. That's a different thing. But the things that you've really put your time into, that you've, done everything that you can, or you feel like you've done everything you can, and it's weighing heavy on you, it doesn't feel aligned to you, like all of that stuff, those are the good reasons to let something go. It might be like writing a book. Tons of people want to write a book, and every year it's on the list, write a book. And then you get to the end of the year, stand up right now. Right? And the book isn't written yet. And sure, life happens and all the things happen, but then let's decide if we actually really do want to write the book or not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think this one thing that's coming up for me, which I think we're going to address in a future podcast this month when we go into sort of reflecting
Mm.
on 2025, is it encompasses a bit of everything. These four different points that we're talking about is when you're letting go, you're also like, one of the things that we do is, we did last year, just after Boxing Day, we sat down, we had a recorded meeting
Mm.
about the year and about um where we want to go next, right?
We should
And
listen.
yeah, when we get to doing that again, one of the things is we're gonna look back on, and I could just imagine if I should say it now, is like when you think about us in January, like January, February of this year, all the the goals we had, the things that we thought, and the unknowns, but the things that we thought we would be, what it would look like. So much has changed,
Like
right?
nothing like that.
And then there's a lot, I feel there's a lot of value to go into that and just kind of, celebrate it a little bit. Even though
Yeah.
there's hard times where you think that things were going to go this way, but they end up going that way. Like
Yeah.
there's some tough times, but there's also some massive wins when we pivot and we come up with a new concept that we didn't think we had in January,
Yeah.
but we just were kind of sticking to the plan,
Yeah.
right? And as a result, we had big month and a massive month in July as well. Like there's a lot of things that we did that were definitely different than what you and I were doing individually before we came together, right? So there's a lot of really neat things that came together there, both in the personal life and in a business, that is just important to kind of like reflect on and explore in that time as well. So That just came up for me when I was just thinking about, yeah.
Sometimes the letting go happens throughout the year as well.
Yeah, totally. And you just have to go, this is just not going to work. You
Yeah.
just have to make a move and then, take a moment of silence and then just move forward and go, okay, let's step into the thing. And one of the things that we do, which is totally unrelated to this conversation really, but maybe it is related to the self-care piece and taking the downtime is those were the days where sometimes we didn't work, right?
Yep.
Which aligns with what we're talking about of taking your downtime is sometimes when we found we were spinning our wheels a lot, we just stopped and
Yeah.
we would take a ride to the beach. We would just have a little mini holiday, and then we came back, recharged, regenerated. So we get a lot more of opportunity in that in the end of December as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And this could actually be another episode, so let's write it down. Is taking these little like mini vacations that we do, and we call it a night day or a day night day, where we maybe leave on a Wednesday morning, stay over somewhere, whether it's your sister's house, which has been a haven for us, or whether it's, if you guys can pop out and go to a nearby town, maybe like we live near Niagara Falls, it's only an hour and a half away, a night there, a night in Prince Edward County, whatever it is. If you can do that part, Airbnb all the way, by the way, and no, we're not affiliated or anything. We just love it. And, day, night, day, leave Wednesday morning, stay over Wednesday night, come back Thursday night, right? And that 2 day, time frame really gives us some perspective and some space. And then the creativity comes back. So this is something that we practice all year long. This is not just an over the holidays thing. And I know a lot of people might be listening right now saying, I can't do that. Kids at home, these responsibilities, parents, whatever it is. And all I will encourage you to do is try to figure out how you can. Try to figure out how you can for a day and an overnight if you can make it work, and take that into your entire year. So not only over the holidays, take it into your entire year.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're one of those people that tends to always host during the holidays and stuff,
Yeah.
just let people help you.
Yeah, that's a
Right?
good
Don't be
one.
the hero. Don't be the one that's entertaining everybody else. Like take that time for you as well and
Yeah.
just let people help. And don't get caught up in it being so perfect and all that stuff. It's more about getting together. It's more about the experiences, the celebration, all that stuff. So this can be kind of a pressury time of year too.
Yeah.
Um, and I think a big thing is just to take a breath. Um, just be in flow with it, be at peace with it, and just enjoy the time because you deserve it.
Yeah. Love that. Okay. I think we got it all.
Yeah, I think so. I'm looking forward to reflecting in a future
Yeah.
podcast because we haven't got a chance to sit down and do that exercise yet, which I'm looking forward to because it was a really big year for us, a lot of changes. So
Yeah.
um, stay tuned for that. And also, we have this event coming up next week. Did you want to share a little bit on what we have cooking for that?
Yeah, for sure. So we do a monthly virtual dinner party for our Becoming the CEO members. And this month, of course, it is holiday themed. So this is a chance for everyone to kind of just like take off the work stuff, forget all about that stuff, and just get together and hang out and connect. And we'll have some different ways for people to share and to celebrate wins. And maybe we'll talk about some challenges as well. And maybe it's the challenges we've overcome and what we've done about it, and all of the momentum that people have gotten throughout the year. And then, of course, we're going to be doing some fun prizes and stuff like that too, so that people will be able to win something and start their January with a little extra something in their back pocket.
Yep.
And if anybody is thinking about becoming the CEO, if you guys are thinking about joining the virtual studio where you can come, get some support with your strategy, get some support with your holistic lifestyle planning and management, get the support of the group being there to cheer you on and celebrate with you, and get the co-working sessions in. The deep work sessions are insane. Everyone's getting so much done and moving forward. The momentum is crazy, and just being around a whole bunch of amazing entrepreneurs. We do invite you guys to get your 21-day free trial. And all you need to do is send us a DM at Jody Rumat Coaching on Instagram, and we will get you guys all set up. So you are invited to come and hang out. It's fun, we promise, and you're going to get shit done. So
100%.
that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Bri. And looking forward to the reflection episode coming up next.
All right. See you in the next session.